everyone. It's week 14. This is the last official week of class. Next week is finals week. Last week, you looked at examples of argument and familiarized yourself with how an argument paper works. This week, you will write your argument paper. Start by finding a topic and coming up with your thesis. Start working on your research plan. Think carefully about your thesis. It needs to be arguable. A thesis is arguable when it makes a statement that someone could disagree with. It takes a position. You have to be on one side or the other side of the argument. You cannot be neutral. It makes a logical claim. Something outlandish can't be argued. It has to be based on evidence. If there's no proof of something, it can't be argued. And it has to be focused. We can't argue about everything at the same time. Here are a couple of examples. You can't argue that we should shoot our enemies into the sun. That's impossible, so it's not an argument. Here's another example. The statement, "There are many different kinds of beetles in the world," is not an argument. It's a statement of fact that might be good for an informative essay, but not good for an argument. Instead, write something like this. Americans should be able to go to college for free. Someone could argue with you. They could say, no, they shouldn't. That's how you know you have an argument. As long as someone can contradict your statement validly, then you have an argument. The outline for your paper should follow the classical argument format. You read about classical argument in week 12. Review the webpage to understand the classical argument format. Your argument begins with the introduction. In your introduction, you should include any background information that would help your reader understand the importance of your topic. You should also include your arguable thesis statement. Reread the information on thesis statements in course basics. Your thesis should show the reader what you're to talk about and what you're trying to prove with your argument. Next comes the confirmation. The confirmation is a section in which you state your claim and your reasons that prove your claim to be true. Remember when we were talking about the paragraph and how it had to have reasons, examples, explanations, and details? Use that strategy here to give the reader a clear idea of your argument. The next section is the concession and refutation section. A concession is a statement in which you consider what people who do not agree with you might say. You let the reader know that you understand what the opposition is thinking by being able to state their argument. Also, you admit where they might be right in some way. That way, the reader knows you have considered the issue from all angles. Then, move to your refutation. This is where you explain that despite your understanding of the opposition, your claim is still better, and you explain why. You show where the opposition's argument has problems and show why that makes your claim the more valid one. Finally, you get to your conclusion. Restate your thesis and show why it's important that your claim be acted upon. You can also talk about the bigger picture in which your claim fits. Why is it so important? What should your reader or society take from your argument? What should they do? Your outline and your argument paper should follow the classical argument format. Make sure that you have all of the classical argument elements in your paper and in your outline to get full points. I've also noticed that some of you are not using sources correctly. Remember that anytime you refer to a source in your paper, whether you just use some information, you paraphrase, or you quote, you must add an in-text citation, and you must list the source on your works cited page. If you don't do this, you will lose a lot of points. Technically, when you do not cite your sources, you have plagiarized the paper, even if you didn't mean to. You can fail a paper or a whole class for plagiarism, so please make sure you do not make this mistake. Watch the videos on MLA style if you don't remember how to do this properly. If you have any questions about it, email me or contact the Writing Center for help. They would be happy to assist you. This week's assignments can be found in the Week 14 folder. They are brainstorming for your topic, your research plan or outline, your rough draft, your peer editing using your group tools, and your final draft. All of your work will be due on Sunday. However, I suggest you work on one thing per day so that you can get everything done. Don't forget that you must also finish Khan Academy by May 10th, and you also have journals to do. Next week is finals week, and we have no assignments. So finals week would be a great time for you to finish any work that you didn't turn in on time, or revise any papers on which you made a poor grade, and do any extra credit you think you might need. I won't accept any work after Friday, May 15th, so be sure to use your time wisely in the next 10 days. I know you have a lot of work to do, so that's all for now. Please don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. And of course, if you need me, I'll be available in our office hours. Stay safe. Bye-bye.